Fact or myth? Las Vegas is running out of water and nobody should move here. And as a matter of fact, anybody that lives here should get the hell out now. Find out what I'm talking about on the other side. Hey, what's up everybody? I've got a very serious video here today that is going to address at least 5 myths that people get dead wrong about Las Vegas's water supply. How I know this is because I went to a Southern Nevada Water Authority meeting and I just sponged up the information. As a matter of fact, I have a PowerPoint that will be on my website from the meeting that I went to with the Southern Nevada Water Authority, and it's very informative. Let you know all kinds of stuff. I've been, of course, studying this because other than how is the market in Las Vegas as a realtor, you always get asked that question, but what are they doing about water? Especially people that are new, that are here. Are we gonna run out of water? Is Las Vegas screwed? Well, folks, I was thoroughly impressed with the Southern Nevada Water Authority's presentation and what they're doing, what they've been on top of here. In Nevada, we have been the very top for conservation of water. And I think that because we've been a desert, we're really the driest area in all of the country, or at least we have some of the driest areas in all of the country. We've known for a long, long time, even the early people that had to come here, they didn't have water. I mean, they would have to tell people, listen, we pay for this water. We have to bring it in, where we have to go get it. This is not easy, so don't waste our water. All the way back when it was being settled in Las Vegas, people understood that. So I think what I'm going to tell you might surprise you. One thing I'm going to tell you is why Las Vegas's water is stable, but what we have to really worry about. Okay, that's one thing. What about construction? Everybody says new construction is going to, you know, we're just bringing more and more people here, and construction is a big problem, and we're using a lot of water. I'm going to address that as well. If you're thinking of leaving Las Vegas or not even coming to Las Vegas, I've got some news for you about moving to the West Coast at all. And finally, I just think that right now, what I'm trying to dispel, and this is something I'm coming across wanting to do in a lot of my videos, is dispel the fear that's out there. I feel like a lot of people watch all these channels to get almost like your dose of fear, this emotional bias that we have. And the water shortage is along that level. It's not that it isn't real. It is real. It's actually really scary, and I'll get to that. So let me just start here. 40% of our water in Las Vegas, Nevada is used indoors, and then it is captured and treated and returned to Lake Mead. We recycle 99% of our water, our indoor use water, and that extends our availability to the resources. Nevada gets the smallest amount of water from the Colorado River of all the states that use the Colorado River water. We still don't exceed our amount. They've dropped the allotted amount, and we're still not exceeding that. Other states, though, are having an issue with that big time. About 10% of our water is from groundwater. Our groundwater supplies have been in pretty good, very good status, really, from what I understand. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If you have a well, well, you know, they're not letting you do that anymore. So if you have it, you have it. You're grandfathered in. They're just really not going to have permits for wells anymore. An acre foot is the amount of water it takes to fill an acre 1 foot high. So that's an acre foot of water, okay? Nevada gets 280,000 acre feet of water allotted from the Colorado River. We are the state that gets the least amount of water, and we aren't even using it all. And that 280 was reduced from 300,000. From there, you have New Mexico that gets more than us, Wyoming that gets more than us, Mexico that gets more than us, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, of course, and California getting the lion's share by a lot. They get 4.4 metric acre feet of water allotted to them per year. So understanding that Nevada, the desert area, gets the least amount of water from the Colorado River might be a surprise to some people. But also the biggest surprise should be is that we're not using it all. And we are the only state that has this type of water reclamation. California, the biggest user of them all, does not have this water reclamation, and they need it badly. These other states, California, Arizona, Colorado, it's the Colorado River. So, you got to give them some leeway. But those two states in particular use a lot for farmland. And this is the biggest issue for the West Coast. It's not even about water, folks. The ultimate end is that it's about food. So I'll tell you more about that as I go along. Basically, if you don't want to move to Vegas because you're worried about water, Vegas is not going to be the problem first. It's actually going to be California and Arizona where the food gets produced that is the problem first, because here at Lake Mead, Southern Nevada Water Authority, they put a third intake on the bottom of the lake, okay? They put that third intake there, and that allows for more water to be taken because it's at the very bottom. Right now, the other two were on the sides, the other two, and one of them is already exposed, so that's not good. Once that water is down too far for California and Arizona and the other states that the water runs off of to feed them, once they cannot access that, then they're bone dry. They're the ones that will run out of water first. Because the intake is there, Nevada, in particular Southern Nevada, will still have water. I'm just going to give you some numbers off the top of my head that I remember. I think we're about 1,025 feet of water level. And I think around 875 is where we go dead pool for the other states. Because of the water intake, we don't go dead pool in Southern Nevada for further, and then they can actually chop that to another 100 feet. So Vegas will have water. The problem is that states that use their water for food production are going to be up a creek without a paddle. Actually, they'll have a paddle, but no creek. Funny enough, Vegas is not going to run out of water. We're not the ones running out of water. It is the West Coast that's going to have a problem. The thing that I think is very important to know as we go forward, Southern Nevada Water Authority, first of all, no more golf courses. We already know this. Golf courses aren't coming around, and they're getting restricted as far as their water use that they can use. If I was just out at TPC in Summerlin, TPC has a golf course there, and all of their golf areas, they're turning into desert landscape. What Southern Nevada Water Authority would like to do, and what they want to put in our minds, which makes a lot of sense, is make Las Vegas look like the desert that it is. Playgrounds, schoolyards, and cemeteries are going to be exempt from this, but anything else, they're looking to get rid of. So you see these beautiful, grass-lined streets in these large master planned areas. You're going to be able to expect that over time, they're going to be getting rid of those or making it more and more expensive. Many residents may recognize this, which is a letter that was sent out about new rates for water that you have. Okay, so water's getting more expensive. For the most part, for people that don't use a lot of water, your households and whatnot, it's not really going up too significantly. But if you're in the excessive use thresholds, you're gonna start paying for it a lot. So they're getting rid of the idea that you can just have all this water and it's not going to cost you anything. This is something that I've told people for years. Well, naturally they'll start charging more for water because that makes people use less water because it's going to cost them. So there's an Assembly Bill 356 that's going to prohibit our community's water supplies from watering existing unused grass by 2027. Okay. So that means that unused grass, those neighborhood entries, streetscapes, medians, roundabouts, non-residential applications, that's what they're looking to do. Commercial buildings, office parks. They've already made it so you can only have so many square feet in a pool. I think it's 650 square feet, and you have to get a permit to do anything larger than that. If you have a pool that is exceeds 3,000 square feet, which is a darn big pool, but not all that uncommon, you evaporate more than 145,000 gallons of water per year. Why are they focusing on this? It's because this is they cannot reclaim this water. This is where we're losing the water. So what they're trying to do is make Las Vegas look like the desert that it is, and not allow for all this water that just goes and it gets evaporated or goes into the ground, including these evaporative coolers. And I guess a lot of commercial buildings have large evaporative cooling systems, so they're not going to allow those to be replaced with new evaporative cooler units. Now in Vegas, that's how they used to cool houses out here before we had a modern ACs, but those are pretty rare on a lot of, although some people use them supplementally, they're not as common anymore for residential. Even septic systems are an issue because, again, the water is not able to be reclaimed. So those who are on a well, a lot of people are on well and have a septic, they don't like that either. So they're trying to figure out, and that may be something that you can see down the road is going to get changed. Certainly less permits for septic will be allowed. They want you on the city sewer and water because the sewer reclaims the water, and obviously the water allows them to monitor how much water usage is happening, which they do have these monitors out there that will tell you that if you're really running water, they can tell and they'll get a hold of you and say, hey, you got a problem. You know, they'd like to be able to have that a little bit more micromanaged, although some people are a little apprehensive to that, but I think that's probably where it goes. If you remove your grass, you can get paid for that grass to get removed and help pay for your landscaping, so that's great. Southern Nevada Water Authority is definitely on the cutting edge of conservation. When the federal government recently turned and asked all the states to give a plan of what can be done about the water issue on the West Coast, because we have a big time drought, Southern Nevada Water Authority was the only entity to actually give a plan. So we're the only ones that said, hey, here's what we think we can do. Okay, not just here in Nevada, but what we can do in the West Coast. That tells you something, folks. We are ahead of things here. Our bigger problem is going to be if we have places like California and Arizona and others that suffer because they're not getting the water after it gets to Deadpool in Lake Mead. Deadpool isn't Deadpool for Las Vegas, folks. Again, telling you that now. I want to go over new construction because that's something that a lot of people talk about as, oh, you know, more people moving to Las Vegas means, you know, that we're using more water. And while there is some it is technically correct, because anytime you build a property, it does take water that's going to not be able to be reclaimed to build that property. But here's the thing, new properties conserve water better by a lot, and you can't have grass in the front yard and now not even in the backyard. Okay, now they don't really know how they're gonna police, or if you will, the backyard. So technically somebody could put grass in their backyard, and if nobody sees it, you know, they wouldn't know, but they are telling people, and I think most people will listen. Okay, you don't want grass in the front yard or the backyard anymore? That's that. So these properties are more efficient with water, and they're not allowing for the landscapes that use the most water. They're also, of course, not allowing those pools to be as big. So all of these things lead to people using less water. The hotel casinos, they all reclaim their water. So do all the residential properties, or most of the residential properties in Vegas. So this is all very good news. The bad news is that, again, folks, if we can't get these other states to figure out their problems, then they're going to run out of water, and we have a whole West Coast issue, maybe even a whole United States issue. Food supply is a big deal. If you can't grow, you know, vegetables and fruits and things like that because you're out of water, that's a problem, right? So they got to figure it out. We all have to figure it out together. You know, a lot of people have all these rumors that they hear about what's happening with Las Vegas and that we're going to run out of water in Las Vegas. It's just not true, folks, not for a long time. Got to be more worried about the surrounding states. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're happy to know that Vegas is on the cutting edge of water conservation, give it a thumbs up. If you're not happy, tell me why. Tell me why I'm wrong, folks. One of the things that I see out there, it's really easy to spread fear. And there will be no repercussions for those who spread fear. I'm actually going out on a limb and telling you something the opposite of fear. If I am wrong and people can prove and see that, hey, Rob told him wrong, that's more of a problem for me, okay? So the last thing I want to do is give you wrong information. The information I'm getting, I believe, is top-notch, and it is what we need to know living in the Las Vegas Valley. I'm calling people out that are out there spreading fear about the real estate market and the water supply. I'm Rob Howe, and I'm all about houses and you. I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have a great day. I got a whole bunch more. See you soon.